Hi, I'm Zoë Morsette, and this is my studio in Long Island City, New York. I've been working in the theater and television, film, opera, ballet for the last 35 plus years. My background is in dance and theater. That's what my degree is in. And as an injured dancer, I went right into doing props and millinery, starting out at Radio City back in the late 70s. And since then I've done 41 Broadway shows and a few movies. I do Saturday Night Live and 30 Rock. I do props and costumes for them. And the Macy's Parade, which I have some things in the shop right now, some big bananas. 8 years ago, I went into the hospital for surgery, and when I woke up, discovered that I had cancer. And they were pretty sure they had gotten it, but they still wanted me to go through chemotherapy. And because my surgery was so extensive, I wasn't allowed to work for 4 months through the period of healing and chemo. I really wasn't sure how I was going to pay my rent and my health insurance during that time, and I was speaking to a good friend who was a draper at Parsons Mears Costumes. And she said, why don't you call the Actors Fund? And I told her I didn't think they could help me because I don't perform anymore. And she said, no, they help everyone in entertainment. And they provided payment for my first month's rent and insurance, which was great. And then they did something that helped me tremendously, and that was to recommend other organizations that could help me that I didn't even know about. She told me to wait by the phone. She said, I think I know someone else who can help you. And 10 minutes later, the Episcopal Actors Guild called, and they were able to cover another couple of months of my rent and health insurance. And then Carol recommended that I get in touch with Cancer Care, and they helped pay transportation to chemotherapy, and some other organizations as well. I was so relieved of the stress that I was more worried about paying my bills than I really was about going through chemotherapy. Because I figured I could deal with the chemotherapy, but I didn't know what I would do if I got way behind on all my bills, because I just felt I would never catch up and would just be in a big hole. Because the Actors Fund was so good to me, I'm very happy to reciprocate by participating in some of their events. One of them that I really enjoy is the Revlon Run Walk that happens in the spring. And I was already designing teddy bears for Broadway Cares, and of course they are one of the biggest funders of the Actors Fund, never thinking that I would need the services of the Actors Fund myself. So now I've done to date 10 bears. This year will be my 11th. Can't wait. And it's my way of giving something back to the Actors Fund, because I could never give the amount of money I'm able to raise by donating my design talents. And I love working with the people in these organizations. It's just been fantastic. In 2004, when I was well into recovery, I was asked to participate in the Nothing Like a Dame benefit on Broadway. And I was really thrilled to do that, because it was PNWHI, or Phyllis Newman Women's Health Initiative, that had supplied the funds to help me when I was sick. And I was on stage with 2 other actresses who also received help for their cancers. And it was just a fabulous, fabulous night. We had a great time. Supporting the Actors Fund is really important for anyone who works in the theater or entertainment, because you do not know when you might need it, or a good friend of yours might need it, or a family member. And this is our industry support group, and if we don't support it, you can't expect other people to. And I know, especially in the Broadway community, it's so tight and people are so supportive And this is just a great way to show your support for all people in theater, because we know it's a tough way to make a living, but we love it, which is why we do it. I never recommend that anyone go into it unless they absolutely are passionate about it. So be passionate about the Actors Fund. It is a great organization. It helps all of us. You know, it's not just about the performers, although they're fabulous too, but all of the support people, like myself, we need help sometimes too. And like me, I was so healthy all of my life, I never expected to get cancer, but I did. And they were there for me.